everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff, and welcome to an unboxing video. An unusual unboxing video, kind of. It's an unboxing video that I didn't see coming, one that I was not planning on making. Gonna take a big old sip of sugar-free Powerade Zero. Okay. Today we're looking at one of those holiday knife packs that shows up at Walmart. I know. I'm filming this in April. You guys are going to be seeing this in like May. Yeah, May. Holidays are quite a ways behind us, or quite a ways before us, depending on how you want to look at it. The one of the Walmarts in my area had a bunch of these packs left over, and they were selling them at a discount. Yellow sticker, and I wasn't really paying much attention to them. But then I saw this one, and there's a couple of things about it that I think are actually really interesting that have me intrigued. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is they just call this Mossy Oak Multi-Tool and Knives Set. 1 4-inch. Wait. Okay, read the back of this, guys. Maybe I'm just illiterate. Feel free to pause and read. But I feel like I'm having a hard time understanding this. Okay. 1-4-inch. I'm assuming that means 1 4-inch. So quantity 1 4-inch. 18-in-1 multi-tool. So this is a multi-tool that has 18 tools in it. It's 4 inches overall, and there's only one of them. Stainless steel handle with woven polyester sheath. 1 4.25-inch multifunction folding knife injection handle with 11 extra bits. 1 3.25-inch utility knife with 4 pieces, extra blades. 1 8-inch stainless steel multi-tool with injection sheath. Okay, this whole pack to me seems like it's kind of like tactical / rescue themed. So we can see here we've got a like a utility knife, a little box cutter. Very, similar shape. These have been really popular in the last year or so. This reminds me of one from Outdoor Edge, actually. We have a folding knife that also looks like it's got a bottle opener on the bottom, and it does have a drill. Or not a drill, but it has a bit holder in it, so you can turn it into a screwdriver, which is kind of cool. We have a multi-tool, which has some interesting features that we'll talk about here in a second. Here's those bits it's talking about for the knife. And then we have this fixed blade right here, which to me looks like it's a little bit of a breaching tool fixed blade. We've got a big pry bar on the back, and I think I've seen fixed blades of this style around. I can't place one off the top of my head, but I'm like picturing it in my mind. I think I've seen something similar to this as like an EMT tool. So yeah, this is really interesting. Let's go ahead and bust right into this without any further ado. What am I carrying today? I don't know if we'll need any knives to get into this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. Glorious day. Glorious day. They gave us not 1, but 2 do not eats. Awesome. Okay. And yeah, I will not need a knife to get into this. It just opened up. But what was I carrying today just to show? Right here, I had the Kaiser the Kaiser Fix 3. The Kaiser Drop Bear Fix 3. It's a lot of names. Very cool knife. Very cool knife. Yeah, this is a fun one that I've been carrying. I've got some complicated thoughts on that one. Folding knife is the Kunwu Django XL. Love this knife. Also just saw today that there's a Django Unchained and Zorro crossover movie in the works, which is kind of interesting. Django Unchained is a really great movie. I'm a Quentin Tarantino fan for the most part. I think Django Unchained is a really, really fun movie. One of my favorites. And then Zorro was actually one of my favorite movies when I was a youngster, and then into my early teens. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And then I'm also carrying a slip joint, which, oh my gosh, I've done like a couple of different pocket check videos with this knife at this point, and in every single one of them I just say I can't remember the name, but it's a Rosecraft. Oh, what is the name? This is not the Baron Fork Jack. This is not the Baron Fork. This is the... I can't remember. Actually, maybe I don't even know the name of this one. I don't know, but there it is. Very, very cool. Little slip joint. I'm really enjoying that one. That's actually the knife that I use the most at work right now. Okay. Where shall we start here? Well, let's start with the X-Acto blades, the frickin' replaceable blades. They're just replaceable blades like you would see anywhere. Not much to go into there. All right, let's take a look at the multi. Oh, I actually kind of like this. So it's got a full stainless steel back. We've got a plastic front. We've got a bottle opener back here, which also has a bit holder, a hex bit holder. We have a little like pry bar slash flathead slash Phillips head screwdriver, which is kind of cool. And then we've got another one at the front. This one's more of a chisel. This one's more of a pry bar slash flathead. Ergonomically, feels okay, actually. There's the blade, a little tiny box cutter. Yeah. I mean, look, I wish it had a pocket clip. Just noticing it doesn't right now. But it does have a little lanyard hole, so you can attach this to a keychain or something, or heck, even do a pocket drop. It does lock close. You do have to push the button. You have to press the button and then slide it forward to get the blade out. These are very, very useful, and I see why a lot of people love these, and they're just not really my style. I don't carry these very often. My dad used to carry a lot of exchange blade knives, but he would carry like the full-size, like, you know, pocket knife version, not something like this. With this is really, really excellent if you're doing something like cutting a lot of plastic, opening a lot of boxes, things like that. These are great. Like, they'll get all your tasks done. This one's a multi-tool. One thing I do appreciate is that because you're only exposing like a third of the blade at a time, pull this out, swap it around, you know, and you can basically get 2 different uses out of one blade. Comes with extra blades, which is awesome. These blades typically last a while just because they're so thin, and if you're using them appropriately, they will keep cutting for a very, very long time. This is cool. This is cool. I think I should probably start reviewing more I guess utility blade knives like this because they are so popular. And again, I can see why. I actually got a comment today from a channel viewer asking me about what I think about things that have this kind of blade going on. And I think honestly, I need to make a whole video about that because I do have experience, not exactly with tools like this, but again, like the full-size folding knife versions. I do have quite a bit of experience with those. But I think I also want to do like an IEDC blade. What the frick is on my arm? A little sticker. Maybe I want to do an IEDC blank for 2 weeks where I take a utility tool like this and just commit to carrying it for 2 weeks. That could be fun. I've actually got a couple of these sitting around right now. I've got one from DeWalt. I've got a couple from Gerber that I've just kind of acquired, not through any effort on my own. They have just appeared. The DeWalt was sent by Zach to the channel. The Gerbers I got for free with another knife purchase a couple months ago from Blade HQ, like a year ago from Blade HQ. So, you know, maybe I'm gonna have to make some videos on exchange of blade knives. Utility razor knives. Maybe I'll get like some fancier ones, some higher end ones, just get the full experience. I don't know. We'll see. They are. That's a good tool. Like for people who carry utility blade knives quite frequently, I think they're going to get a lot of use out of that. They're going to enjoy it. All right, let's take a look at the folding knife here. Ooh, and it does have a tip-up carry clip. A little bit shaky. Take the little blade cover off. Hollow ground drop point blade running on nylon washers. Ooh, that felt horrible. Okay, lockup's actually fairly solid though. We do have a decently sized stop pin. Oh, that's kind of cool. So the bit holder is actually on a double D, and actually, I guess this would be technically a triple detent. Okay, wait a second. I see what the problem is with this knife. Okay. All right, one thing at a time, Gideon. Sometimes my ADHD just runs away with me. Okay, so what was I talking about? The bit. So it looks like they've given you enough space here to carry it with a bit installed. So let's actually take one of these. Let's see, what does it come with? These are not Torx bits. These are just hex heads. We've got 1, 2, 3, 5 of those. We've got 3 flat heads and 3 Phillips. I'm not sure. Do they say the sizes on these? Yeah, hex 6 through, I'm guessing this is going to be a hex 2. Yeah, hex 2. And then we've got, I'm guessing like a 3, 2, 1. Okay, 7. That was a bad guess for me. So we have a 7, a number 7 flathead, 8. I guess my fingers are all slippery. Anyways, let's just pull one of these out. Okay, let's pull out the Phillips. Load it in. Yeah, you got enough room. And then the actual arm is on like I was going to say double detent, but maybe it's more like a... Okay, so I see what they've got. Okay, this is actually kind of interesting. All right, so we've got a stop there. And then we've got a stop there. And it does provide a good little stop. It's not locked, but this is a detent system. Bam. So if you want to screw like this, or bam, if you want to screw like that. However you like to screw, this has got you covered. Me, myself, I prefer missionary. Anyways, so what they have here is there's this little arm. You guys probably can't see it. There's a little arm in there. And I'm guessing we have 3 detent holes on the blade. So there's 1, 2, 3 engages on the close. Or not the blade, but like the tang of the little arm. Yeah, so I'm guessing we have a little detent hole here, here, and then here. So right now it's open. The one in the back is engaged. The one kind of in the middle. And the one at the front. That's actually kind of cool. Now, what I was saying about the issue that I noticed with this knife, ooh, actually good action. It's got a solid detail on there. This is a liner lock. It is running on just Teflon washers, but that's okay. Is some of these body screws could afford to be screwed down a little bit more. I'm not sure you can see this, but this little this little stop pin back here, this is a stop pin for the detent, or for the arm. I can see here that it's a little bit loose. It's actually standing out a little bit, so these scales back here could be tightened down a lot, and that would actually, and that actually increases the strength of the arm. I do have my bits over there, my Torx bits, but we're not going to do that right now. Good thumb studs. Again, fairly good action. It is a hollow ground drop point blade. Not an amazing edge, but it does have an edge on it, and I imagine this is a very soft, very simple steel that you could sharpen up very easily if you wanted to. Holy smokes. Whoever sharpened this up at the factory did a pretty awful job. The blade is very, very badly misground over to one side. You guys might even be able to see that. But very wide bevel, very narrow bevel, and this bevel actually even comes up over the swedge on this side, which it is not supposed to do. So, you know, it's a cheap knife. It is not sharpened very, very well. Pocket clip, probably not the best thing ever. I mean, it works. Yeah, not the best thing ever, but not the worst thing ever either. Now, the ergonomics of this knife, right here, it actually feels pretty good. I was worried that having this big gap here would make the ergonomics feel bad, but actually, it's not bad. Amazing ergos? No, but it gets the job done. Overall, you know, especially for the price and everything you're getting here, so far, I think you're actually getting what you pay for. I think you're actually getting some usable tools. Now, are they going to last forever? No, probably not. Are they the best quality? No, absolutely not. But I do think they're usable so far. So that's pretty cool. All right, put the knife over there. And bits. We'll put that over there too. It'd be kind of cool if like there was a way to carry the bits with the knife. Okay, we're going to save the multi-tool for last. Let's go ahead and take a look at this fixed blade. Because this is actually the thing that like caught my eye when I saw it there at Walmart. It caught my eye just on the shelf. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I saw this set throughout the holiday season. And this knife, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's different. But it wasn't, you know, cool enough for me to like ever get it. And then when I saw it there on the discount cart there at Walmart and I started looking at the set more closely, I saw the pliers, which excited me. But this is what originally caught my attention. Again, I'll do some research and see what this reminds me of, what this tool reminds me of. It might be a knockoff of something. I don't know. Well, I'll research and see. But we've got hex heads in the blade. We've got a strap cutter or, you know, a twine cutter. Here on the back, we do have a pry bar and a nail puller, really. You can see there it's got the lip in there for pulling nails. The pry bar could probably be a little more, you know, ground down. It could be a little more precise, but I'm sure it'll work for prying some things. Very simple, very cheap feeling plastic scales. And the sheath actually isn't a sheath. It's just a blade cover. Now, you do get little holes here, so you can rig this up for whatever you want to do. There is actually a drain hole at the bottom for water and moisture. That's cool. Oh, is that it? There's a little thumb ramp on the top, which I appreciate. It's got jimping on it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there is a click when it goes in. Pretty snug, to be completely honest. Pretty snug. That feels all right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if I was going to carry this, I definitely have to spend some time thinking up creative ways to attach this to me. But if you want to like leave this in a bag or a car or something, this will protect the edge from damage. It'll protect things in your bag from the edge. So I guess that's okay. The blade itself is, I don't know, like a Warncliffe-ish. Very, very short. Hollow grind. No sharpening choil. Sharpening does look to be terrible. Let's go ahead and test the sharpness just to see. Okay, so it is actually significantly sharper than the knife, the pocket than the pocket knife was, which is cool. Now, it does have this kind of like chisel edge out here, and it's not sharpened, but it looks like it could be sharpened fairly easily, so that might be, you know, something to do, turn this into kind of a razor blade. Or it's also probably left dull intentionally so that, you know, if you are using this in like a rescue knife scenario, you're not going to puncture someone that you might be trying to cut around. Let's try the sharpness of the belt cutter. That does shock me. That does shock me. And that was actually pretty dang sharp. Most of the time, especially on these cheap knives, if you have a feature like this, it is dull as a spoon. That was actually the sharpest edge that we've seen so far, except maybe the razor blades are probably sharper. But yeah, I'm impressed. I am impressed. Ergos on this thing are very, very straightforward. It's just a straight rectangle. Interesting tool. Again, I'm going to have to look up what the other knife I'm thinking about is that this reminds me of, because I actually might be interested in testing that out. Now, I'm not, you know, an EMT. I'm not a rescue guy, but having something like this in like my car or something could be fairly useful, I suppose. I just kind of like the design. This is kind of weird, kind of goofy. Not something that is like, I don't know, resonates with me on a personal level. Not something that I would consider to be beautiful. But it's different. It's interesting. And I'm always down for interesting. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So far, I must say I'm impressed with this kit. Most of the time with these holiday multi-tool knife packs, there's at least a couple of items that are absolute garbage. Sometimes you'll get one good item and the rest are trash. Sometimes you'll get a couple good items and the rest of them are trash. Sometimes you'll get like multiple good items and then one that's absolute garbage. So far, we're doing really, really well. Again, are they the highest quality tools? No. Are these going to be the highest quality bits? No, probably not. But so far, everything does seem to be usable at the very least. Okay, now let's get to the pliers, which was the thing that I was actually most interested in. Okay, so they are spring-loaded. Oh, and they actually come with their own little propaganda sheet. Oh, I thought that said D2 blade for a second. But that's because I can't read. It just said the blade number 05. Okay. So what are all the tools we have here? Needle nose pliers, regular pliers, wire cutters, small flathead screwdriver. Oh, wait. I didn't read these in order. Okay, I need to read these in order. Needle nose pliers, regular pliers, wire cutters, saw, blade, serrated blade. I still didn't read them in order. Dual scale ruler, nail file, lacing hole, scraper, Phillips screwdriver, small flathead screwdriver. The scraper is what I would normally call an awl. Scraper is probably a better term because most of the time these cheap awls are not sharpened, so they're not really awls. Okay. Bottle opener, gut hook / seatbelt cutter, large flathead screwdriver, medium flathead screwdriver, can opener, and wire stripper. I thought this was supposed to have 18 pieces. I'm only seeing 17. Oh, I know what piece number 8 is. The pouch. Which is absolute garbage. These little flimsy nylon pouches, yeah, they're just trash, right? Okay, but the pliers. Spring-loaded, which I kind of like. What was the thing that made me excited about these? You can replace the blades for the wire cutters. You see this? There's a Torx head there. It looks like a T8. And you can take those blades out and replace them with other blades. And I'm wondering if you could replace these with Leatherman blades, if they're the same size. Now, these blades that are in here do not appear to be the highest quality. I will say, so the pliers actually do meet up completely. There's no gaps. They're not, there may be a hair off center of each other. Yeah, but not bad. So these are actually functional needle nose pliers. I do like that they have, I don't know, the pliers do look to be more, like there's more effort put into them than you typically get with this genre of multi-tool. Now, is this a good multi-tool? No, probably not. Or at least it's not in the same league as some other multi-tools. But I do think it's usable. And one thing I really like is that a lot of the big blades are on the outside. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. They are one-hand opening. I don't think they're locking. Maybe they are. Oh, and we actually have phosphor bronze washers on these. And oh my gosh, they are locking. There is a liner lock on there. Now, very, very stiff. I'm hoping this is a, yep. Okay, so there's a knife blade. Yeah, it does shift around in my hand a little bit when I squeeze down on it. Very nice looking clip point blade. Lockup feels very, very solid actually. Kind of impressive. Going a little work on that one. Actually, much, much smoother than the saw blade was. And then these other tools, let's open them with the left hand. We have the ruler, and we've got the nail file. It's also sloped a little bit here, so you could use that as a screwdriver or a pry bar. Nail file works. Let's check the ruler. Yep, the ruler works. Let's see what other tools. I think this is going to be the serrated blade. Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's test the sharpness on serrated blade. No, not really. Okay, and then let's open her up again. And here's the other tools. You do have like the little nicks right here on the edge and a little cutouts in the blade to help you get them out. Can opener, bottle opener. Actually, look, I think all of these could be used as bottle openers. How many bottle openers do you need? Little bottles, big bottles. You name it, we can open it now. And, oh my goodness, wait a second. Wait a second. Do these tools lock too? No way. They do. Oh my gosh. And look, this has a little button here. You press it, it's like a back lock, and that unlocks the tool. So every single tool on this is locking. That's really cool. Okay, so this was before I got it on sale. This was what, like a $30 pack? It comes with 1, 2, 3, we'll call it 4 items, you know. I'm going to count the extra blades and the extra bits as being part of their item with the tool that uses them. I'm not counting this as a separate item. It goes with this. So let's say 4 tools for $30, right? You know, we're coming out to a little bit more than $7 per tool. For $7, is this a good multi-tool? Yeah, I'm going to say so. I'm going to say so. Again, like, is it the best multi-tool out there? No, probably not, but why would you expect it to be for $7? Is it good for $7? I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say yes. I'm very impressed. Again, with these pliers, the thing that really caught my attention was the fact that these blades in here are removable. I think that's very, very interesting, and I'm curious to see what kind of blades would fit on that system. Spring-loaded. I mean, this does feel rough around the edges. This does not feel like a Leatherman. This does not feel like a Roxxon, which I need to review some of those, by the way. I've handled a couple at like shows, but I need to review some. Anyways, we're not going to get sidetracked. But yeah, for $7, I feel like that's completely acceptable. And I'm honestly really impressed with this pack. I wish I would have gotten this during the holidays so I could recommend it to you guys, because I actually think this is probably the best holiday pack that ran this past year. So if you guys find one of these at your Walmart on sale, go ahead and pick it up, right? These are tools that can make for good loaner items, good toss in your truck, toolbox, tackle box type of items. You know, solid beater items, I would say, for sure. I'm kind of impressed. This is a cool little set. Again, you'll find them on sale now, so they'll probably be a little bit cheaper. Yeah, that is not too shabby. Not too shabby. Now, normally with a lot of these videos, I just unbox products and talk about them, and this is the last video that you see. If you guys would like to see these items used, carried, tested, heck, maybe even reviewed, I don't know if I'll give them full reviews, because with stuff like this, you never know if it's going to be around next year. You never know if they're going to keep making these things, if they're going to sell them separately. I don't know. But if you want to see more content with these items, I would actually be down to do that. I would be down to do that. A lot of times, again, with these boxes, it's kind of a one and done thing. Like, I unbox it, I show it to you guys, and that's about all the experience that we really need with these items. But these ones I think are pretty cool. So if you want to see more content, let me know. And we'll definitely make that happen. But yeah, this is a really impressive little box, I think. Side note, Mossy Oak, country roots. That has always been something that I've found to be a little bit hilarious. Now, I like to think that I grew up just about as country as it gets. I grew up milking cows and goats, riding horses and 4x4s, and, you know, camping, hunting, fishing, you know. Had a pronghorn mounted on the wall growing up. Like, I'm pretty freaking country. But there was just always something about, like, country branded items that I'd see at Walmart or different places that just always make me laugh, because I knew a lot of kids who, well, not a lot, well, when I was in high school, I know a lot of adults nowadays, but when I was a kid and I was, you know, living on the ranch and stuff, I knew a lot of kids at school who liked to act like they were country, and it just never really pulled it off, and it just always made me mad. Or I guess not made me mad, but it made me laugh, right? It's kind of, this is a loaded word, cultural appropriation. But what I've come to realize is there's quite a bit of difference between, like, country and Western. And I think that like country folks from the Midwest are a lot different from country folks in the American West, the Mountain West. Country folks from the Louisiana bayous are a lot different. And I think a lot of this stuff is more aimed at like Appalachia, like Kentucky, Tennessee type country people. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if what I'm saying is trying to come is coming through, but yeah. There's actually there's there's people that I work with right now who, you know, talk all this game about being country and like, oh yeah, I'm as country as it gets. You know, I drive a big old lifted truck. I listen to country music, blah blah blah. And they brag up this whole game, and then I tell them, yeah, I grew up pretty country. We had our own garden. We butcher our own cows, go hunting. I worked as a hunting guide for a while, cowboying up in the mountains. Did not have any video gaming consoles. Didn't have TV when I was a kid. Just out there roughing it, milking the cows, chasing around the goats, collecting chicken eggs, building barns, chopping wood. And they kind of look at me like, I had no idea you were country. I get a lot of people that tell me that. I guess because maybe I don't dress like I'm trying to impress anybody. I don't dress like I'm trying to, I don't know, show off or anything like that. I mean, gosh, most of my clothes are just like plain gray. I don't like to wear anything that's like really branded. I do like colorful stuff. Every now and again, I like whimsical stuff like Bigfoot. I do wear my cowboy boots and my jeans pretty regularly, but a lot of times I also just wear like my cargo pants and stuff. I don't know, I dress for comfort. And yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me, oh man, you don't look country. I never would have guessed. Yeah, that's because I don't wear mossy oak and I don't listen to Florida Georgia Line as I drive around in my lifted. I'm not going to say what I think about those trucks, but I'll just say my 2006 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT. It's a solid truck. Gets me where I need to go. I've climbed mountains in that truck, and the best thing about that truck is I'm not overcompensating for anything. Anyways, that was just a little bit of a random ramble. I laugh every time I see things that are like branded country because I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty country. I grew up pretty country, and not a whole lot of the guys or gals that I grew up with, I don't know, bought into this kind of branding or advertisements. If you're country, you don't have to tell anyone you're country. They can tell. You don't have to wear it on your shirt. Anyways, that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, especially those of you that stayed around for the little ramble. Yeah, once again, let me know if you want to see any more content with any of these items. Let me know if you picked up this kit, if you're going to be looking for this kit now. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Big shout out to my channel members at the Cowboy level. I appreciate everything they do for the channel. If you want to become a member and support me directly, there's a link down below. Memberships allow me to do stupid stuff like check out random Walmart kits. Anyways, as for the rest of you hooligans, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.